Hi everyone, how are you all doing? My name is Natalie. If this is the first time that you're watching my videos, thank you for being here. I hope that if you enjoy what I do and share on this channel, you can consider subscribe and share with your friends. In this video, we are going to talk about this week's astrology forecast, and I use a whole sign house system for all my forecasts and reading. This video is about January 19 to 25th of 2026. We have a very busy week. We have lots of aspects happening every day, but because we all have our own natal chart, we might feel some aspect more than the other. So when I talk about all the aspects that is happening during the day, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed that, oh my God, I'm going to feel this way and that might happen and so on and so forth. Because remember, like I said, we all have a different natal chart, and all the planet placement are different. So maybe one aspect will feel stronger to you compared to other ones. And maybe someone will feel another aspect more than the others because you don't share the same natal chart. So let's dive in. On Monday 19th, we have the Sun in Capricorn sextile Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees. This is a little bittersweet because this is the first sextile between the Sun in Capricorn and Neptune in Pisces, because very soon towards the end, actually next week, Neptune will enter Aries, and so we will never have this aspect again because it takes a long time for Neptune come back to Pisces, and by that time the next Neptune in Pisces transits will probably all not be here anymore. So this is a supportive aspect between the Sun and Neptune, sorry. So this aspect is reminding us what we are trying to build, to manifest, to bring into our reality, our dreams, what we are fighting for, what do we want to build for ourselves or for the collective level. Maybe this is related to the legacy that you want to leave behind. And also remember that if you can dream it, you can do it, right? And I know this can sound a little bit cheesy sometimes, but I also believe in the power of manifestation, and this is a supportive aspect to remind you that you do have what it takes. You do have everything in you to ground your dreams into reality. Grounding your dreams, Sun in Capricorn, and your Neptune in Pisces, which is your dreams, into reality, right? Ground them into reality. So I hope you will use this aspect today to remind yourself of how far you've come and be your own little cheerleader today. And as I am uploading this, it's already Monday night or Tuesday in earlier time zone. So I hope when you look at this aspect, it's a reminder for yourself. If you haven't done that on Monday, that's okay, but now give yourself a pat on the shoulder and know that you have what it takes and you are going to do that for yourself. And just like that, after a few hours, the Sun will enter Aquarius and kickstart Aquarius season at 5:54 p.m. Pacific time, or for earlier time zone, it will be January 20th, 9:44 a.m. Hong Kong time. So adjust the time according to where you are in the world. Aquarius season is also ruled by Saturn because Saturn rules both Capricorn and Aquarius. However, the energy is quite different when you compare Capricorn and Aquarius. When the Sun is in Aquarius, Aquarius theme can be brought up. Aquarius is a fixed air sign. During this transit, we might find ourselves go back up in our little head a bit more than staying grounded. Aquarius is curious, it's a humanitarian sign, is the other sign other than Gemini that has a person, a human on its symbol. So this is deeply connected with the collective. So during this transit, you might find yourself being more drawn to what is happening around the world. Aquarius also related to our technology, our innovation. And so Aquarius is not afraid to step out of the norm, to step out from the crowd, even though it is connected to the collective. But when the value does not align, Aquarius is not afraid to be the one who step out of the group and start a new community. That's why sometimes it is associated with revolution and starting something new, right? Creating a new community. So during this transit, you might find yourself being more involved in community, wanted to do more for humanitarian connection, and so on and so forth. This is also a time when you might find yourself having some interesting ideas coming through. You might find some conversation inspiring. It might bring in some new ideas for you as well. 19 is a very busy day. We have one more aspect that is happening, but it happens really late at night. The chances are you might feel this more happening on Tuesday on the 20th instead. That is Venus conjuncting Pluto in the sign of Aquarius at 3 degrees. So when Venus come together with Pluto, there is a fatal attraction energy. So for some, not all will feel this, but for some, this might be a day where you just feel like you meet someone and you're just so captivated by that person's energy, aura, or the conversation that you're having, because Aquarius is that air sign that talks about communication. And when Venus comes together with Pluto, this can also be an energy where it brings up something that is hidden, secret, information into the light, right? And this can be about Venusian stuff, which is a relationship. Unfortunately, this is bringing in information from the underworld up to the surface. So this can be sometimes you finding your partner's cheating, or you're betrayed by a close friend, or maybe people around you might be like, oh my God, I just found out that he did this behind my back. Oh my goodness, right? So yes, unfortunately, this can bring up some toxic relationship for us to look at. It can push the victim within that situation or relationship to finally also feel that push, that last straw. I cannot take this anymore. It's time to let it go, to speak up, to fight for myself, stop being the victim as well. It's about reclaiming your power back from that situation and relationship as well, which is very empowering. But on a collective level, there's a chance that we might see some sex scandal coming up. We might see some drama coming up. We definitely might see a development in the Epstein files. You know, maybe more victims, survivors might come out and speak up. So it's giving me that Me Too movement as well in some way with this aspect. On the next day, January 20th, we have Saturn in Pisces sextile Uranus retrograde in Taurus at 27 degrees. This is also the last time that Saturn and Uranus in these two signs will come together for the sextile, because like Neptune, Saturn will soon enter Aries and Uranus will enter Gemini later in the spring. So the sextile between Saturn and Pisces and Uranus and Taurus will no longer be felt by us, because next time when they come together, we're not going to be alive. If some of you still alive, let me know how you do that. But so this is also a time, a bittersweet moment to look at, I would say, look at your Pisces house, right? Because Saturn has been in your Pisces house since the March 2023, and perhaps all these sextiles that we have been having between Saturn and Pisces and Uranus and Taurus has inspired you, has invited you to restructure, rebuild something in your Pisces house, to look at it from a different perspective, because Uranus and Taurus is that awakening energy, is that seeing things from different perspective, having aha moment and realization. So perhaps over the past almost 3 years, there has been moment that you were looking at your Pisces house, the themes and topic areas of your life. Something needs to go, something needs to change, something needs to maybe reset, restart, rebuild. and this is the last sextile. So for some, maybe this is the last push to allow you to realize that, oh wow, it's really time to let go. It's really time for me to change. It's really time to think of something new, because this old structure is no longer aligning, is no longer standing, is no longer working. So everyone might feel it differently. You will have to take a look and see what your Pisces house is about to see what that might mean for you. So we do have multiple aspects happening every single day. The next aspect that is happening on the 20th is Mars. Mars in Capricorn having a trine with Uranus in Taurus, and then having a sextile with Saturn in Pisces, all at 27 degrees. So both of them are supportive, are harmonious, but I also want to remind all of us, having sextile and trines, which yes, is supportive and harmonious, doesn't automatically means good, because it just means that the energies between all these planets in these signs, they are working in a flowy way. The energy flows. It's easier for things to happen. But sometimes good energy like that, there's no good or bad, sorry, my apologies. Supportive energy, harmonious energy is when the change needed to happen, right? So sometimes, even though we're having sextile and trine, but maybe something happened in your life might make you feel like, oh my God, I didn't want that to happen at all. But maybe that thing is happening for your higher good, but you will not be able to feel or see that at the moment, only to be able to realize that later on when you reflect on it, right? So this can be something that is supporting you, trying to help you build and restructure over the past few years, similar to that aspect that I've just mentioned, right? Because, and it is also related to your Capricorn and your Pisces house, maybe even Uranus, even in the Taurus house. So this is also for you to reflect on what you have been rebuilding, restructuring. Do they still feel good? Do you still feel aligned? Or is it the day where you feel like, okay, I like what I have been rebuilding so far, it works? Or maybe this is a day where you're having a second thought, you're having additional information coming in that help you to maybe make a new development as well. This is a very busy day. We then have a couple of, we have one aspect and one transit happening. And this time, the main character is Mercury. So Mercury in Capricorn is going to have a sextile with Neptune at 29 degrees. This is a supportive aspect about working or start working on our creative project ideas, art, performing arts, or any artistic project or ideas, because that is what Neptune can be about. So Mercury in Capricorn is about grounding them, right? Communicating them, having those ideas come into life. And then after a few hours, Mercury will enter a new sign, Aquarius. So Mercury will then be in Aquarius for the next couple of weeks. Mercury in Aquarius is a little different compared to Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury in Capricorn tend to be a bit more quiet, a bit more mellow, a bit more stoic and serious, right? And Mercury in Aquarius is more light. It's more communicative because it's a fixed air sign. It talks about thinking, communicating. Aquarius is also more of a brainy energy. Mercury in Aquarius is a great transit if you have to test out some idea, if you have to experiment some ideas that you have in your mind. It is a great transit to do research, to perhaps exchange ideas with your friends. If you have some creative projects, ideas in your mind, it's a great transit to bounce idea with each other and to see what sticks and what does not stick, what works, what doesn't work, test them out, put them into experiment, right? And see what happens. It's that creative, brainy, communicative energy. Aquarius, like I mentioned before, is a sign that is associated with humanitarian connections. So this can also be a time where you find yourself paying more attention to what is happening around the world, being more engaged with humanitarian topics and conversation, organizing, contributing to communities, and so on and so forth as well. Right after Mercury enters Aquarius, the next day on the 21st, we will have a Mercury Cazimi. Cazimi is the word that means in the heart of. That is happening when the Sun and Mercury align, conjunct each other. So Mercury passing through, align with the Sun. The Sun is that ball of fiery energy, right? It also represents the divine knowledge and wisdom. So Mercury get combust and cleanse and rebirth a new Mercury cycle through this Cazimi. So this can be a great day to communicate, to express yourself, to announce something, to launch something, to sign a contract, to negotiate something in your life, especially topics in that Aquarius house of yours. If you are in social media, if you are a content creator, great day to do your podcast, record an episode, release an episode, and maybe have an important discussion. This is also a great day to raise awareness if you are an activist, if you work in humanitarian related topics, a day to speak up, to raise awareness, to share information. On the 22nd, a very different Mercury energy comes up. We have Mercury conjunct with Pluto in Aquarius at 3 degrees. So now this is another aspect that secret might comes out, might be revealed. It can relate it to tech, power struggle, and dynamics on a collective level or in your relationships. This can be a day where you need to watch what you're saying, because Mercury conjunct Pluto can be snappy, can be you saying something that might cause repercussion later on. So also think before you speak. Definitely not a day to sign a contract. So if you are in the business world, if you're thinking about signing a contract this week, pick 21st instead of 22nd. Lastly, some aspect on the 23rd. We have Mars in Capricorn sextile Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees. Very similar in the beginning with what is happening with the Sun and Mercury in the beginning of the week. This is also a day Mars is about action oriented, right? It's the drive, it's the way you take action. So this is a day to take action towards your dream. And a few hours later, Mars will enter Aquarius. Very different energy again. So Mars in Aquarius want to take their time to think it through, to do some research, to retreat and have some time and space to think it through before it takes action. It's less impulsive. It's less, let's just do it and find out what happens. It's more of a, okay, let me just have some time, think it through, do my own research, and then I'll make the decision, right? And being related to humanitarian during Mars and Aquarius, we might find more activists, news, and organizing event happening around us. We might feel more drawn again towards in participating, contributing, engaging with all this type of topics, connection, and work as well. Last aspect. This is the Sun conjuncting Pluto in Aquarius at 3 degrees. Sun is often related and representing the leaders and people that is up there. So today, having the Sun conjuncting Pluto, we might see some news on a collective level about power grabs, about power struggle dynamics that is happening in certain parts of the world with certain leader. With what is happening in the world, I'm sure we might see some news. But on a personal level, this can also be the Sun shedding a light on our trauma, on things that are hidden, perhaps triggers what we have been avoiding to see and heal, and this might come up. Or maybe this is a certain situation or relationship where you are giving away your power. Today the Sun will shed a light on those topics for you to see, not to just trigger you and make you feel uncomfortable, but perhaps to allow yourself to see what is happening. Perhaps for some this is to take accountability, and maybe for some this is finally realizing It's time to confront, to speak up, and to heal. So this is a lot. I know a lot is happening this week. So take time to maybe listen again to see what resonates or what does not. Remember, you might not feel every aspect deeply. It depends on your natal chart. So feel free to come back after the weekends to see what actually happened for you, how you feel about them. If I can be an assistant to do a consultation for you, feel free to contact me. My information are in the description box below. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.